And thank you for joining us for the webinar on the Eureka Lightweighting Call 2024. I just want to take a brief moment to thank our speakers, Michael from Austria and Alexian from Lux Innovation. Michael will present the call in general and also the matchmaking platform, and Alexian will present us the national funding rules. If you have any questions during the webinar, just post them in the discussion and we will get back to them later after the two presentations. And now, welcome and thank you.
Thank you very much. So thank you for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to present the Eureka Lightweighting Call 2024. My name is Michael Walch. I work for the Austrian Research Promotion Agency, but I will introduce the lightweighting call in general. Well, we consider lightweighting as an essential technology for the future. It is a technology for environmentally friendly solutions, while at the same time facilitating commercial value. So that is why we found a group of countries to support this initiative and to fund projects in the area of lightweighting, R&D projects. These countries include Austria, Belgium, Canada, Chile, Estonia, France, Israel, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Portugal, South Korea, Spain, and Turkey. And we also have support from Germany, Poland, and Slovakia, and Switzerland. Okay, so what is the scope of the Eureka Lightweighting Call? We are looking for international R&D projects in the field of lightweighting. You are some of the experts in this field, so you know what the field is about, but we have set some targets, some effects to be reached by these R&D projects. So we are looking for projects that optimize resource and energy efficiency, create sustainable value cycles, and bolster lightweight integration in more areas. All sectors are relevant, but with all this information, it's always important to note that please contact your national funding agency as well, because some national funding agencies might set extra priorities which are not fully reflected in the international call. So you might have, for example, in Austria, a focus on production and mobility. But in general, everybody can apply to this call. Here are some examples of lightweight technologies, but again, you are the experts, and in principle, it is an open call, so you can define the topics of the projects within the scope of lightweighting. So some projects could address the optimization of lightweight design approaches, novel lightweight materials, including their manufacturing, recycling of lightweight materials, joining technology, additive manufacturing, digitalization, and life cycle assessment and circular economy. Further details you can find also in the call text. A link is on the slides, which will be shared with you afterwards. Now, how could a Eureka project look like? So it's a very good instrument. You have a minimum viable project, which includes just 2 countries, 2 partners. You can always add more, but you need a lead partner from a lead country and a partner that is not affiliated with the lead partner from a different country. Usually these projects run up to 3 years. No partner can claim more than 70% of the project costs. The projects must have a civilian purpose, and the projects must include effective R&D cooperation. So, as I said, this is the minimum viable project, 2 partners, 2 countries, but you can always add additional partners. What is important, all the partners are funded by their respective national agencies. That's why it's important to contact also the national agencies, as I mentioned before. The submission process for this call is presented on this slide. So the call is already open. You can already start your submission, work on your submission, find partners and submit it already. The deadline for submission is the 25th of September 2024. After the submission, there will be a consent meeting of funding agencies. This will be in December 2024. And after this date, you can start your projects. What is important, most countries will also require a national application. Now, the timeline for the national application runs in parallel to the international application. So again, it is important to get to know the national conditions in all the involved countries. Usually the timelines are very well synchronized, but please make sure you do not miss any national deadlines. In addition, we have a matchmaking platform. This is very important because partner search is one of the biggest difficulties of an international R&D project. So this partner search platform supports you in finding partners. I will show it later. How can you find partners for a project? So the partner search platform is one opportunity, and another opportunity is the Enterprise Europe Network. So the Enterprise Europe Network also maintains a database of cooperation opportunities, also R&D cooperation opportunities. So you can look through this database, but you can also contact your local EN representative who will help you in finding a partner in all the involved countries. So these two options are available for partner search. Please make use of them because, as I mentioned, partner search is one of the most important things for an international R&D project. Now, I would like to give a quick demonstration of this partner search platform and also introduce the matchmaking event, which will take place on 14th of June. So you can now see the web page for this partner search platform. It's very easy to register. You click on a button on the top. It takes about 5 minutes and you will be listed as a participant. You can look at the other participants that are already registered. You can also find here all the details about the call. Again, also some pre-recorded videos like this one that you're looking at right now. It also introduces the matchmaking event, and I would suggest to everybody listening right now to register to this platform and also to pitch a project at this matchmaking event. It's a really great opportunity to find partners, to get visibility for your project idea. And really our goal is to facilitate projects. There is always some hesitation to communicate a really innovative idea because others might steal it. But I think the risk is much higher not to find partners and that the project may never start. So really, I would hope that you would register to this platform and also pitch your project idea. In addition, you can pitch your project idea also on the marketplace. So you can upload PDF files, video files here for others to look at. And you can scroll and look at all the other opportunities on this matchmaking website. So again, please make use of this opportunity. It's one of the first and one of the big steps to start the project. Okay. I also included some useful links as the slides will be shared afterwards. This is the Eureka website with the call text and also the matchmaking platform. That's it from my side for this short introduction, and I would like to give back to Elisabeth to continue.
Hello everyone, thank you Michael for the introduction. So my name is Alexia Tinan from the National Funding Team, and today we will talk about the Luxembourgish funding rules. So as a quick reminder, the national funding body is the Ministry of the Economy. So the Ministry of the Economy will grant the aid or not. And us as at Lux Innovation, we are the national coordinator. So we support company in the preparation of the state aid application until the submission on MyGuichet to the Ministry of the Economy. As some of you may know, we have quite a lot of schemes for R&D projects, but today, in the framework of this call, we will focus on the R&D Article 3 scheme. So, the maximum aid rate for large enterprise is 25%, between 25% and 50%. For medium-sized company is 35 to 60%, and for small enterprise is between 45 and 70%. In the slide, you can see that we have a possible mix of experimental development and industrial research. Industrial research is the process of acquisition of new knowledge and new skills to later develop the product or services, which is the experimental development. In the Eureka lightweighting call, there will be a collaboration with other company. So the Luxembourgish applicant company will get the collaboration bonus, which is a maximum of 15%. About the eligibility criteria, we can divide the eligibility criteria into sections. We have the criteria on the applicant company and at the project level. For the applicant company, we need to make sure that the company is not in difficulty. So we will check that no more than half of the subscribed capital has disappeared due to accumulated losses. And then we will perform SME analysis. For that, we will ask you for documentation. Another criteria is the economic impact, meaning that there is a need of substance from the company. The applicant company must be Luxembourgish and must exploit the result of its project. At the project level, we have co-financing capacity. As you may know, the grant from the Ministry of the Economy is a reimbursement. So a company must be able to pre-finance a part of the project. The pre-financing can be done through equity, capital increase, bank loan, or free cash flow. Another criteria on the project level is the innovation. It must bring a competitive advantage on the market, and it must be a new or improved product or services. One eligibility criteria that must be respected as well is the incentive effect. So a project must not start before the submission on my guichet. A company cannot sign any binding contract before the submission. About the eligible cost of the project. What is co-financed is mainly internal staff costs, so the brain of the company. To that, you can add equipment costs, so utilization cost, which is the depreciation cost of CapEx. You can add non-depreciable OpEx, and you can, in the special cost section, you can add any subcontractor that you may need, or any licenses for software, patent, consulting services. What is not eligible in this scheme is, for example, a company that is not incorporated yet, that has no business permit, no staff, or no economic activities. Regarding the project, any project that has already started is not eligible anymore. A project that is tailor-made by a specific client is not eligible, and a project that has no risk or no innovation is not eligible as well. Regarding the cost eligible are mainly focused on generating the innovation. So any costs related to the project but coming after the generation of the innovation is not eligible. For example, marketing of the innovation is not eligible. Bank fees related to the financing of the project is not eligible as well. Operational daily business are not eligible, and wages are capped at 10,000 per month per employee. Any costs that are not directly related to the generation of the innovation but are still existing, for example, transport costs, are covered in a lump sum of 25% overhead. Thank you.
So thank you everyone for your presentations, so Michael and Alexian. So now it's the time to ask your questions. You can put them in the chat and then we will answer them. So feel free to ask us anything you want concerning the lightweighting call. Are there really no questions?
Well, maybe I can take the floor again.
Of course.
And reinforce the message that it would be great if you could register also for the partner search platform to go from there, to find partners, to build project ideas. We are really looking forward to projects, as I mentioned, between all the involved countries, but also between, because I'm from Austria, between Austria and Luxembourg. I think we have an active community in Austria. So please reach out to your partners and submit a project. It's a great initiative.
I see that we have one question from Claude Marc. Thank you. So what is the starting TRL requested and the minimum final TRL? So we in Luxembourg, we don't focus a lot on TRL levels. Michael, do you have an answer to that question in general?
It's a good question. The Eureka instrument in general is for experimental development, technological readiness level 5 to 7, but different countries might have different regulations. In Austria, we can also fund lower TRL levels. The funding rate changes if there are lower TRL levels. I don't know about the national conditions in Luxembourg, but I think in general, the call focuses on experimental development, TRL 5 to 7, but there is room depending on how the consortium looks like to also look at lower TRL levels. Higher ones would be unusual. So the projects we are looking for is not market development, but development of a product or service in the end, which can be commercialized.
Thank you. The second question that we have received is, can group entities be considered as partners? So I can maybe answer to that question because no. As Michael explained in his presentation, is that the two entities from two different countries need to be independent from each other. But in the case where you would have other partners, two different group entities could be in the same project, but you need another independent partner.
Exactly. And the independent partner has to have 30% of the costs in the project, at least 30%.
Yes, exactly. Then we have another question. For large enterprises, in case of industrial research, the R&D aid will be up to 50%, or is it limited to 25%? So getting back to the TRL levels and the explanation Michael gave earlier, most of the time, Eureka projects are more in the experimental development. So that would be 25%. Plus the 15% bonus, of course, because it will be an effective collaboration. There is a possibility that maybe one or two work packages could be considered as industrial research. So there, the aid rate would then, for large companies, be 50% with the 15% bonus again. And then I see another question. If we will share the presentation materials later. Yes, we will send out an email after the webinar with the presentations, both from Michael and from Alexian. And then another question, can a startup participating in the Fit for Start program take part? It is not forbidden, but you need to make sure that you still have enough time for the Fit for Start program and still resources to participate in the project. So you really need to organize your resources very well, both human resources, but also financial resources. So I think it's quite hard to participate if you are active in the Fit for Start program, but it is not forbidden. And then another question, thank you. There is at least one SME needed per country, as far as I have understood. Does a research institute or university only in a country is not allowed, correct? Maybe Michael, you want to answer a question so that I don't have a monologue here?
Yes, but it's a difficult question because in principle, there is no requirement for an SME in the consortium. Maybe this is from Eurostars, this information where there would be one required, but in this case, there is no requirement for SME, nor is there a limit on research organizations as partners. But national countries might have special regulations on these issues. So I can answer for the Austrian side that we can fund research organizations on the Austrian side. We do not require an SME in the consortium on the Austrian side. But usually there would be, for example, a sub-consortium from Austria from one research organization and one company. I think this would have good chances from setup-wise. But there, yeah. But maybe you can illustrate the position of Luxembourg on this issue.
Yes, so in Luxembourg, unfortunately for this call, research institutes and universities are not eligible. They will not be funded. They can, however, be part of the project as a subcontractor or on a self-funded basis if they really want to participate in a project. And then we have another question. We can only submit a project if we have started to study it to get an idea of its scope. Where do you draw the line to submit the RDI application? That's actually a very good question as well. So my first answer would be you submit the RDI application before you engage in anything with any partners or subcontractors. So where you sign something officially binding to respect the incentive effect, as Alexian has highlighted earlier. And then I think in general, it would be wise to have an idea of where you want to go. Maybe you already know which kind of tests you need to do so that you have a clear idea of how the project will look, what the budget of the project will be, of course. And at that moment, you then submit the RDI application. But there, Lux Innovation in Luxembourg can, of course, help you to scope and define the right moment. So you see on the screen the contact information for Alexian and myself. So you can always send us an email to discuss this further. And then again, coming back to the SME and universities. So an SME from Luxembourg in collaboration with a university in Austria is eligible. From Luxembourgish side, yes?
Yes, but I think the Austrian organization should get in contact with us about the details. I think it would be more feasible to also include a company on the Austrian side as well in the consortium. But it's a very project-specific questions, and I think, as Elisabeth mentioned, we are here to talk to you, to talk about the project ideas as well. I think this is true for all the countries. So if you have partners, if you have an idea, reach out to us. we can talk about the project in a more direct manner, focusing on concrete topics there. That would be my message. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, so thank you all for your questions. If you have more questions, put them in the chat. If not, you can always get back to us, the three of us actually, at a later stage. If you have a project idea and you're looking for partners, register to the matchmaking platform. If you are available, also participate in the matchmaking event. I think that's a really, really great initiative. And it's always interesting to know what other possible projects there are where you could participate, connect with new partners. So yeah, I think there's one more question. Oh no, thank you. You're welcome, Caroline. Thank you as well. So yeah, to sum up, register to the matchmaking platform. The presentations will be sent to you by email if you were registered to the webinar. And do not hesitate at all to get in contact with any one of us if you have more questions or any other concerns concerning the lightweighting call. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Alexian.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.